only do we have the Stanley Cup with us, we got the keeper of the cup, Phil Pritchard, here in the studio. Welcome to the Nut House, Phil.
Jules, this is awesome. I feel way overdressed, though.
You have an image to upkeep with this bad boy. Anytime you go around, it's like you're like Secret Service. I feel like that. I told the audience already. There's like 6 cars outside just waiting for something to happen. If anyone wants to come around this freaking Lord.
Yeah, it is pretty nice though, isn't it? Like it's unbelievable.
It's really cool because of the imperfections of it. When you see the imperfections, what that shows me is that this thing's been around for a very long time, and having, all the names of every player that's got to hold this cup on. There's just a lot of tradition. This is a pretty damn cool trophy, and we've seen them all.
Yeah, it's amazing what started off in the 1890s as that little bowl, what it's become now, and how hockey has grown. And you see where the countries that it's played in and the names on it. I mean, if it could talk, it'd have its own podcast.
It would definitely have its own podcast.
I'd produce that. If
it could talk, what would be a fun story it would say that you've been around?
I think one thing that's really cool that not everyone realizes, nowhere on there does it say Stanley Cup. The Dominion Hockey Challenge Bowl is the real name, but Stanley Cup sounds way cooler.
Yeah. So this is the Dominion Bowl.
Yeah.
You've been
blessed with the Dominion Bowl.
The Dominion Bowl. Now, what's a question you wish no one had ever asked you about the cup?
Is this the real one? Where we go, the first question is this the real one? Because people can't believe that it's here or whatever. That always gets asked.
Is this the real one?
Yeah.
Can you take us through the origins of how you became the keeper of the cup?
You know what? Growing up in Canada, I played hockey just like all my buddies. Everyone did. Road hockey, street hockey, ice hockey, whatever. We all wanted to play in the National Hockey League and lift the Stanley Cup. I think I was either smart enough or dumb enough to realize that when I was 15 that I wasn't going to be playing pro hockey. My face got in the way of the puck. Whatever happened, I had to do something else. And so when I went to college, I had always grown up collecting hockey stuff, sports stuff, football, everything. I was a big sports fanatic. So I took a sports administration course in college, and it ended up being a co-op internship thing. So where you volunteer, you don't get paid. Mine was with the Ontario Hockey League. And for whatever happened, I must have done a good job because my bosses there thought, this guy's okay. Let's see how we can help him. So I went on to the Canadian Hockey League, and then I got a call to go to the Hockey Hall of Fame. That was 88. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
I went to the Hockey Hall of Fame, but I didn't start off as traveling with the cup. That took, believe it or not, 4 days. My first week on the job, someone needed the cup up in Newmarket, Ontario, which is a small town. Connor McDavid's from there. Yeah. Sam Bennett's up there. There's a bunch of players from up there. It had to go up to a minor hockey tournament. And I'm the new guy on the block. And our boss said, does anyone want to take the Stanley Cup up on Friday night to Newmarket, Ontario? And I look around the office and nobody says anything. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't know if you put your hand up in this place, but I put my hand up. So I put my hand up and, all right, Phil, you want to go up there? I said, that'd be great. What kind of car you got? I'm thinking, okay, what kind of car do I got? I tell him what I got. Will it fit in the back of the car? We'll make it fit. So I drove up. We did this minor hockey event. And when I came in on Monday morning, my boss said, I heard it went well on Friday. Yeah. Want to go to Dallas this weekend? And it just kind of went from there. I don't want to say I applied I didn't really apply for a job. I put my hand up. So what I tell people everywhere is, hey, you're never in the wrong spot at the wrong, you never know what's going to happen
I was expecting like a conclave or like there was a bunch of
smoke out of the Hall of Fame
coming out of shit. I thought there was going to be like a selection of Cardinals type hockey people that make a vote. I guess you just got to say, put your hand up.
Yeah, that was it. But you know what? Believe it or not, in 88, obviously hockey was a lot different then than it is now. Wayne Gretzky had just got traded to the Los Angeles Kings. Hockey in the South began to boom pretty quick. California, Florida, all of that, Dallas area. Phoenix,
San Jose.
and San Jose,
94,
San
93.
Jose, Anaheim, Los Angeles. But you look at where hockey is now compared to where it was then. Everyone in the world that puts on a pair of skates and holds a stick arguably wants to play in the National Hockey League was just like me when I was a kid. But ultimately, they want to win this and bring it home to mom and dad and say thanks. And that's the stories that it can't tell.
Yeah.
I wish it could.
Yeah. Now, what's your favorite place that you got to bring it to?
For me, I love going everywhere to a new place. I love the people in Finland. In the summer, it's 24 hours sunlight.
Wow.
So they have a lot of celebrations going on. In the winter, 24 hours of darkness. It's a bit tougher.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Finns, they're all in on hockey. But regardless of where we go, whether it's across Canada, US, over to Europe, into Russia, wherever, the reaction of hockey today is growing all the time. I think the last stat I saw, it's played in 96 countries around the world now.
Hell yeah.
And most of them don't even have snow, but they can make ice now, and that makes it work.
It's pretty crazy in this new information age how all the sports are just booming, it seems like, because of the social medias, the streaming services that are creating these deals with the leagues. I think sports are just on a way up because it's our real only reality TV that's real.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like there's reality TV, but that ain't real. Yeah. This is real.
It's funny. You said that my wife loves reality TV.
Yeah.
And I always tell her that's not reality TV. In Canada, reality TV started with Hockey Night in Canada.
Exactly.
That's the real stuff. And it's grown obviously in Monday Night Football and all them. Baseball, but that's reality stuff.
That's reality. Now, what's the most intense superstition you've encountered?
I think there's a few of them. One of them is the beard in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Hockey is right into that. The guys don't shave throughout basically 2.5 months if they're still playing in that. But the other one is they will not touch it until they've earned it. And I love that respect.
Yeah.
Like whatever Lord Stanley brought to this game back in the 1890s when he purchased this in London, England, it has grown and grown, the respect of it and all of that. And that could have a lot to do with the way the game is going and social media and all of that. But it's our white gloves we wear. The guys understand how hard it is to win. They know they can't do it by themselves. Their family is part of it. So when they touch it, they want to have earned it. And you got to love anytime respect is part of a sport.
Yeah. You feel that with hockey. You feel respect, tradition. That's something that like that locker room out of all the sports, I feel has like the biggest respect for the people that came before it. And it's probably because, this has something to do with it. You get to see every single one of their names until they have to remove one and add a new. But you get to see the guys that put the work, the blood, the sweat, the tears to be able to hold this thing.
It's so true. The night the cup is won, to be in the dressing room and the guys are looking at past names of, hey, I remember watching that guy or whatever. To hear that, it brings all the magic together right on the spot. And then you ask them, so what do you want to do with that on your day? And it's just, the emotions are, I got to thank my mom and dad. I wish my grandparents were here. I got to take it to the cemetery. I got to go to, it's unbelievable. But they know they can't do it by themselves.
Yeah.
They had somebody tying their skate when they were young, and they don't forget those people. And that's a respect in itself.
You wear white gloves every time you touch it?
Yes.
So like, are we like Willie Mays Hayes posting up our white gloves after every time we touch? How many pairs of white gloves you gone through?
I've got every pair I've ever worn.
How many is it?
Wow. It's probably 400 to 500 pairs.
Holy schmoly.
My wife wants me to throw them out. I've got them in my drawers at home. I don't have sock drawers anymore, undie drawers. I have white glove drawers.
You know what you should do? You should sell them to fanatics.
Honestly.
We should sell them to fanatics, make you a couple shekels there, buddy.
But you know what? I mean, it's funny. We talk about the white gloves. I work at the Hockey Hall of Fame and Museum in Toronto. Every curator in any museum in the world wears white gloves. Our fingerprints have oils in them. we don't want to get it on the artifact, whether it's a trophy, whether it's an artwork, whether it's a rock gallery, whatever it might be. All curators wear them. We kind of brought those white gloves from behind the scenes to the forefront. When we carry the cup, we wanted to carry it with her. We don't deserve to touch it either. I mean, I've never won it, so I shouldn't be touching it. But by carrying it with the white gloves, I think and I hope we're paying it the respect it deserves.
Wow.
And I hope fans and players and that understand that's why we do it. It's not to glamour anything. It's to respect what this is.
Now, what's the cleaning technique of this bad boy?
It's every day.
Every day. So we're using like silver polish or
no.
What are we using?
You know what's amazing is because this is all hand done. So it's not a computer generated names. It's a silversmith out of old Montreal, generational silversmith. And she engraves each one of these names on here, and it does it letter by letter. So when we're cleaning it, all we're trying to do daily is take the fingerprints off of it. Basically, in our hotel room, I can use the shampoo that's in the hotel room in warm water, and that'll get rid of the fingerprints. Louise St. Jacques is the silversmith. She professionally does it twice a year. So it looks outstanding. And as you mentioned earlier, when you see it from a distance, it's unbelievable. When you see it up close, you see the imperfections in it, then it's got a story. And there's the story it can tell.
The story is everything. Like, that's the best part about this trophy. Sometimes when you get a perfect trophy that's brand new, you know, it's like, this is like been through it.
Only being cleaned by like hotel shampoo, hockey guy. Hockey guy move through and through.
Love it.
I don't know about that. Like what it does in my head.
You do like you and then the cup.
Now, Phil, what's the Stanley Cup mean to you?
To me, in sport, I think it's the greatest trophy in the world. To be able to be part of the greatest sport in the world, and to be able to walk out on the ice and play a small role in that whole presentation process, it's amazing. Growing up, like I said, I wanted to win the Stanley Cup. To be able to walk it on the red carpet and be part of the commissioner's presentation and that, it's pretty amazing.
Wow.
I think on their day, because every player gets a day with the cup, to show up on the day of, and first of all, congratulating them and meeting their family, but being a fly on the wall, listening to the stories of how they got there, that to me means all of it.
Yeah, that's priceless right there. Now, how the hell did you end up at the bottom of Mario Lemieux's pool? I saw this.
Yes. I didn't end up in the bottom. I was, if you saw the photo out there, you'll see.
Did you go in there? And
I didn't have to. No, we had, we had some police officers there one time. Mario's pretty superstitious guy, and well-deserved too. I mean, 2-time Stanley Cup champion as a captain, 3-time as an owner. He's earned the rights. But yeah, it has been in Mario's pool a few times. And again,
a few times.
Yeah. And again, that's the superstition side, because it went in once and then they won the next year. So that's the superstition kicking in.
Look at that.
Yeah. I don't think you can see my feet in that one. But.
Now, what's the worst that's been damaged and who did it?
Sadly, I mean, again, we go back to the imperfections and perfections. When someone looks at it closely, you see scratches and some dents. Sadly, it has got scratches and dents. A few years ago, it was dropped on the ice right after the presentation.
Oh, man.
That was a tough one because the whole world was watching then. But players will do whatever to make sure that doesn't happen. But as you can see on there, when you look close, I think, Jules, when you and I are this old, we might have some dents and scratches on us too.
That's what do they say? The bumps in the road are what make the journey fun.
Yeah.
Well said, brother.
There it is.
There you go.
I got a question. So I've heard like recently that there's a lot of like superstition around the ownership and having the cup in the building or not in the building, like when it's like during the Stanley Cup final. Is there any like, how do you deal with that, or any stories from like having to like jostle superstitions while also being present for the Stanley Cup finals?
It is. I mean, there are other superstitions, and it's pretty amazing because I'll use Colorado, for example. Pierre Lacroix, the old GM and president of the Avalanche, he did not want it in the building until it could possibly be won. So we're there doing our job with having the cup have to be in the building because it could be won. And Pierre Lacroix doesn't want it there. So you have to kind of hide out of the way, but at the same time, respect his wishes and his superstitions. There's a lot of teams that think the same way. Boston was the same way, Montreal, Toronto. But in today's world of social media, everything is on camera. So everybody knows where it's at in that. But I can really appreciate why they don't want it in the building. They don't think they've earned the right to have it there until they've actually done. And then once that's happened, those superstitions are gone and they become part of the legacy of a Stanley Cup champion.
Well, Phil, it's been an amazing treat to have not just the cup here, but you, because of your countless stories. And you're part of the tradition, man. And it's really cool to get to pick your brain for a little bit. Thank you for coming to the Nut House. Is there anything you want to plug? Does your wife have something that she loves? She loves reality. What do we want to plug? I know Happy Wife, Happy Life.
Yeah, that's a good. I like that one. Hey, you know what? That's a good one. I mean, she's become a hockey fan over the years. So Stanley's part of our life and part of our family, I guess. So for my kids and my wife and Diane, it's another story in the day of the life of Lord Stanley.
Oh, man.
I love it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
Really
Phil.
an honor.
Thanks, Phil.